Well, hello everybody, and welcome to this week's Metaworld News. This is a program where we feature, important news concerning social virtual worlds, haptics, VR interfacing, etc., etc. Not too much on the hardware side or whatever, but anything that affects our socializing in virtual worlds, virtual spaces, and the hardware, the haptics to go with it, all that sort of stuff. Um, anyway, you can follow me on. My name is Mal Burns. Mal, one word. Burns, second word. But you can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/MALBURNS. Yeah, they squash me into one. They always do that. I don't think I'll ever get myself unsquashed on Twitter. And oddly enough, Facebook don't squash me. But then again, I'm kind of leaving Facebook alone for completely different reasons. So, yeah, moving on. We have an additional feed for the show, which is twitter.com/MetaWorld News. Again, two words squashed together. Okay, so as I said, I'm Mal Burns. I'm joined here in the studio by James Atloud, who's doing a wonderful job capturing my desktop and superimposing it on my avatar screen here. And he's also been busy building bits of this set too, including the new 3D-ized logo behind us and all sorts of other stuff. So welcome, James.
Oh, thank you, Mal. Doing little improvements, incremental improvements
Yeah,
here and there.
yeah.
Yep, yep,
A, a tweak a week.
yep. And I think the lighting on your face is a little better, but
And soon I'll be running around playing hide and seek because
that's
there'll be
right. That's right.
so much to hide behind.
Right.
Yeah.
But I am enjoying
Yeah,
Sansar.
looking good anyway.
It's fun. Yeah. Yep.
It is, it is. I've popped in here quite a couple of times recently. I keep missing. There's quite a few events, but unfortunately, I'm so knackered in UK time. But they all seem to happen too late for me. It's been the same
Hmm.
with the Open Sim festival. I mean, I've logged in every day, but there's been nobody there, and nothing's happening. Everything doesn't seem to start till my evening time. So, by which time I'm pretty exhausted of being online. So. Um, Swings and roundabouts, really.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. That's true.
yeah, yeah, I do. I am getting fonder and fonder of Sansa. I must admit, everything seems easy, quick, fast, and the building side I can't comment on. I haven't really tried it, of course, but yeah, I like it. I do kind of like it here, and seem to be more and more people coming in here all the while. Okay, so moving on. That's the intros out the way, isn't it?
Did we
So
get to the
as a,
date?
No, we didn't. I was about to do that.
Ah, sorry. Okay.
No, never mind. It's good to be reminded. So these are actually going to be the news headlines for the week ending the 30th of August 2020, which of course is today when we're recording this. So I'm very aware that many of you watch it later. It's a holiday over here in the UK tomorrow, which is a Monday, of course, and then of course we're into September. So yep, the last show for August. Well, it only takes four shows, and then we're at
Oh,
the end of
wow.
every month. But there you go.
Yep.
It's hard to believe that autumn is now thoroughly approaching. Although I am told that when the miserable cold weather we've got here at the moment passes in a couple of days, we're going to have another heat wave. So good old September, eh?
Oh, boy.
No, weather does not know what it is doing these
Right.
days, but
Right.
neither does anything to do with this planet. Neither does anything to do with this planet, really. Right. So let's get on with the virtual stuff, which of course still requires on electricity and servers and clouds and all that sort of things. But basically, it's very easy to think of yourself as removed from the organic planet
Oh,
sometimes.
yeah.
Except then we get very rude reminders, such as last week's major feature, and started to ascend this week too, is the announcement that Facebook are doing all sorts of nasty things, particularly for users of their Oculus Rift headsets. But every day they seem to announce something else that's equally offensive. And you'd think people would be trying to pull them down or censure them, but it seems to me Facebook just seem to think they're on the high and they can do what the hell they want, and they're
Mm-hmm.
going to keep on doing it until somebody does stop them. Anyway, that aside, my first post as usual is the XR Week Peak. And it would have a photo of the Zuckerberg in it, wouldn't it? But you should
Mm-hmm.
see the one coming next.
Ha!
Anyway, this is the XR Week Peak, and it's a scarred ghost dot calamity. Yeah, SKARREDGHOST.com. And we'll have a couple, quite a few this site this week. They're always, everything there is worth reading, really, some more so than others. But this is the Integral Week Roundup, and there'll no doubt be another one at the same site tomorrow because it is Mondays when he actually posts this. And so he just to sort of remind you what was top of the news, not this last week, but the week before, which is what he's covering here. And this is a singularly even more unpleasant image of the Zuckerberg than any other. It just makes me ill. So that was his news. Of course, it was all people reading this will actually know that already. As usual, long posts from him, plus more links to other posts on the matter. And basically, oh yeah, Apple have threatened support for the Unreal Engine. There was I haven't got a post for this, but there was a dispute between Epic Games and Apple. There was a judge that ruled earlier this week that Apple had to allow the Unreal Engine because I guess it was altering software. But that didn't. But Apple was quite within their rights to remove Fortnite and various other Epic games. So it's a kind of win lose. Well, it's a win for Apple, really. It's a win. It's definitely a win lose, win lose lose situation for Epic, who may have bitten off more they can chew.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they are not quite as big as Apple. Apple can keep this game for several decades if they need to, I'm sure. Um, Epic won't be able to optimize the Unreal Engine for all of Apple's platform, so it's still going to be rather damaged. And um, yeah, I mean, Microsoft supported um, Epic because they use the Unreal Engine 4 to develop products for Apple devices. This is Microsoft talking too, so they think it hurts their business. But everybody, it's all competition, and nobody wants to collaborate. Everybody wants a wall garden, and everybody wants to grab all the money available. And it really isn't a very good way to run any kind of modern economy. Let alone, it's the fact that most of this stuff is online commerce doesn't bode for well for the future of economy online.
Yeah.
Anyway, Oculus continues improving the Quest ecosystem. They had to. They basically, well, we'll come to this later. They've ones to create your virtual human. Yeah, we did all that last week, most of it anyway. So I'm gonna put that one away. As I say, you'll find that at scarredghost.com. Scarred is with a K, but I'll be pretty sure you realise that. This is a nice little reminder thing. This is a site called inverse.com, inverse.com. It's in their gaming department, and it's basically that title says how gaming turned a Hindu concept into the internet's most common feature. Um, as you can tell, I'm slightly colorblind, but I don't think it's just me that's having difficulty reading that title. Very colourful background, of course, for a Hindu sort of illustration.
Yeah,
But
not just
yeah,
you, me
it's
too.
just nice. Yeah,
Yep.
it's basically looks at what an avatar is, but how gaming actually turned the Hindu concept into the internet's most common feature. Now, whether it's actually the most common feature is another matter, but I mean, that's what they chose to put in the headline there. Um, but it goes back, it's a good article. It looks back at loads of old computer games too, different ways they've used the concept of avatars over and beyond the fact that the personas we have in virtual worlds now, of course, are considered to be our avatars, personalized ones. Anyway, yeah, it's quite an interesting sort of piece that. So you find that at inverse.com in the gaming section. Right, put that one away. No need to dwell too long on it. And okay, now this one's going to be difficult. You'll be able to follow the link if you go to twitter.com/malburns. Um, but basically, it's where is it? Don't tell me it's happened again. I'm losing my links. Somebody's stealing my links. No, not. It should be here somewhere. It's okay. It's probably not there. Oh yeah, there it is. Right. It's not actually worth giving you the link for because the actual link is soundcloud.com. And then it's sort of slash user dash 14974607 slash etc etc. So the only way to get there really directly is to follow the link on my Twitter feed. However, if you can find your way to soundcloud.com and want to actually follow this podcast, then the podcast is called F Reality. That's capital F, capital R, and then lowercase for EALITY. And I think they do about one a week, and I don't cover them that often. This one is basically joining in the discussion. I think it's the politest word I can think of there, about the Oculus headsets and Facebook, and it lost for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So it's an audio podcast, not video, but nevertheless, it's going to take you quite a while to actually listen to the whole thing, so to speak. Well, quite a while being 2.5 hours. Obvious, really. Okay, so as I say, that's at soundcloud.com, and get a direct link from my Twitter feed, or simply look for F Reality podcast up at SoundCloud itself. Right, so I'll put that one away. And moving on down. Right, living virtual lives during COVID and beyond. Well, this is topical, isn't it? This is a site called Shondaland, SHONDALAND.com. And a section is lives, well, slash lives slash technology. Um, um, Goes without saying, really. This is way early in the week, of course. In fact, it may even be last week when it was actually published. Um, US perspective, of course, US screeched to a halt in March. Well, the rest of the world too did as well. Anyway, um, yeah. So there's quite a lot of talk about there. They're just basically referencing video games, virtual worlds, and stuff like that, and how it's it's all taken over during COVID and maybe actually staying thereafter. Live concerts, festivals, parties, all cancelled to further notice. But actually, a VR headset and virtual communities can fill the gap. In fact, many of them, it's not so much filling a gap, it's many of them have gone online in some form or other. In many cases, virtual, as we will come to later, because there's quite a lot going on in that field. So this is at Shondaland, SHONDALAND.com. Moving on. Yeah, as I said, lots of events going on, and this is where we start, or the first of a few I've got up here. Here's what a pandemic-induced VR Burning Man will look like. Well, the Burning Man is a major festival that's happened every year, and in up in the desert in I think it's Colorado. I might be wrong. Black Rock Desert. Sorry, northwestern Nevada. Uh, if I'd been reading, I wouldn't have made that mistake, would I? Anyway, obviously, it's another thing that's not happening this year. A gathering of like minded, drug friendly burners looking for a temporary communal hippy dippy shanty town complete with giant task installations, barter systems, and of course, an orgy dome. Who wouldn't want to miss something like that in the age of coronavirus? God, they make it sound like Age of Aquarius the way they're talking there. Right.
That's great.
Oh yeah, actually they could sing Age of Coronavirus to the tune of Age of
Oh
Aquarius. Didn't
no.
no, yeah, no, help me, says James. Yeah, I think I'd cringe. Having suggested that, I'm now cringing at
I,
the thought.
I,
Okay,
I've not
okay.
heard you sing, Mal, so I couldn't rightly say what that would be like. So.
This is the dawning of the age of coronavirus. The age of
All
coronavirus.
right. All right. Well done.
All right. Yeah, whatcha?
Peace, man. Peace out, man.
Yeah. Nah, kaftan, incense and beads.
Yep.
I posted something on no, yeah, I posted something on Facebook. Oh, about a week ago. I forget what it was now. Oh, yeah, it was a major event that happened. I think it was in the late 60s in England, London area. You know, major happening, as they used to be called in those days. Somebody commented on it. Somebody I wasn't expecting to comment on it because I anyway, so, yeah, I was there in a kaftan, a homemade kaftan made out of a
Oh,
carpet.
very nice. Very nice.
And I can just imagine it. But this person I did not know that far back in time. Well, I've known him since about the 70s, but nevertheless, it came as a bit of a surprise. But, I mean, you know, it puts an age on people because I wasn't there. I just thought this particular event, you know, memorialized in a big article was worthy of posting. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I must have still been early teens at that point, whereas this chap has obviously
Oh,
had been there.
fantastic.
So I'm not going to go into how old he must therefore be. Right. Moving on, moving on. Carpet, caftans made of carpets? Well, why not? I'll tell you, it's really easy. You've got an old carpet at home. Well, unroll it. You cut out a hole in the middle of it, and then you stick your head and neck through that hole, and then that's a caftan. At least it's will pass as a caftan.
Sure.
And if the weather's getting colder again, it's far better than cotton. So you've got this filthy old carpet over you, but it will keep you warm and it will put you in the mood for the Burning Man, whether it's online or online. As we will find out, it's online and online and online. I think it's in 16 concurrent virtual worlds. And the great thing about this, to be honest, is somebody, I'm not quite sure, comment. I didn't get to clip this comment, but it was actually a wonderful comment this week. Apparently, this is telling. Take up with headsets and stuff like that has not been much great out of the gamer community and the enterprise use. But apparently, a lot of people have been scrambling around looking for headsets during this week so that they can go to the Burning Man. Such is its reputation. The people who don't have headsets are busy trying to scramble around, seeing if they can borrow one. They borrow still a headset so they can go to Burning Man, and they have something like 16 different platforms to go to, uh, each of which contains a Burning Man thing. Plus, even good old Second Life still has its burn too, so it's probably 17.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute or 20 as we carry on. Um, Okay, so I've forgotten where I was now. Um, yeah, basically, this is the first article I've got up, which is looking at what it, Burning Man could be like, and God, um, I'm sorry, I've lost the. I seem to have lost the link for this one. I'm going to keep it. Lost the address to give you that. It looks like something called input, but I can't find. can't find the corresponding bit. So, oh, we did Hondaland, didn't we? Um, okay. I'm going to keep that open, but I'm going to move on for now. Right. Axon's new virtuality training for law enforcement features peer intervention and expanded to-dos for de-escalation. Well, from what I hear about the, especially in America, but there's a bit of it here too. Relations between law enforcement and your general public, who pay their wages, by the way, aren't very good at the moment. So I think they actually could use a session in well, I mean, if you put, there's this campaign, isn't there, to defund the police? Well, I think they should carry on funding them, but put them in a classroom with virtual reality helmets and lock them in there sort of 16 hours a day so they're out of the way and can't do anything to anybody. And maybe, if you put them in there for a month, they'll come out of their headsets and they will actually understand peer intervention and de-escalation and all that sort of interesting stuff that they don't seem to have a clue about at the moment. Anyway, naughty me being very rude about the forces of law and disorder. New virtuality training scenarios in development aimed at reducing the use of force. Well, all the better for that. News provided from Axon. So let me see if I can find out where this one is. I can't find this one. I think I've got the usual thing of everything gone out of order at some point. Um, okay. All the links to these, find them at twitter.com/Malbones. It does actually occur to me that, well, not a particularly nice picture, but I found that one earlier today. I'm told that some of the pictures like this have been taken down, so I'm going to blow it up and make sure you can all see it because I think it's social comment. Those are the forces of law and order, and they're rolling out a red carpet for some guy carrying a gun wearing a sort of dunce's hat. Well, I think it's a dunce's hat. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Anyway, so
Are you expecting a comment
appropriate
for
there.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit of ad-libbing sort of
Right.
segue to my picture page. Right. Anyway, so as I say, you'll find this at Siston. Oh, this is PR Newswire. So where the hell did where the hell did it go? Okay, well, I don't know. I've got another PR Newswire here, actually. I'm going to leave that one open. Maitland Crossman High School deploys first virtual reality program to teach social emotional learning. I don't think we actually have this open, so I'm going to quickly open that one too. Oh no, it's Pandemic Burning Man. Ah, no, this is, yeah, this one is prwire.com. .au, so prwire.com.au. Yeah, this is August 24th. This is in Australia, in fact. But using virtuality to teach social emotional learning. This wasn't a tab that I had open or had intended to put up. If you're interested, it is of course on my feed. Um, so I'll find out the address for the one we have got up as soon as I can. Okay, it's I can't just follow the list because it features all the some things that I've actually left off. So moving on here. Right, Hewlett Packard HP teases exciting announcements for VR software ahead of Reverb G2's launch. This post is at uploadvr.com, UPLOAD VR.com. And this Reverb G2 might not be the only project HP has in the works. This is, all about news about a headset kind of thing, I think. And this one, there is some discussion as to whether Facebook, by the way, will be allowing their Horizons thing to be in other people's headsets. Presumably, you still have to log in with Facebook IDs, but this is certainly a different headset from the Oculus thing that the Fastbook are trying to push on you. Right. I'm getting completely lost in my feeds. So, okay. Immersive Web Weekly. This should be easy enough to find. Um, I'm not sure it is. I think. I do apologise, folks. I really seem to have got things a bit out of order here. I think it's because when I was loading these earlier, I was doing it from Slack based on the order they were appearing there. And that just that's not quite the same as the order on my sidebar. So let me see. I'm going back from today, aren't I, to earlier in the week. Um, mm, okay, it's still not going to be easy. HPT's is exciting announcement. Okay, that's where we were. Oh, it would be. Oh, never mind. It's a TCO short address. Okay, Immersive Web Weekly. You can get this. You can get this by mail. From whoever they are. Um, I'm just going to copy the address and right. My notepad won't work either. This is disgusting. Right. I must. I'm sure I got somewhere that's got all my. If I can find the right one, we'll be away. All right, there we are. Yeah, okay. Immersivewebweekly.com. So it's http IMMERSIVEWEBWEEKLY. Now that's Immersive Web Weekly. It's all squashed together as one word. And this, of course, is the issue of a short while ago. Um, okay, it's basically another roundup page. Who are using Facebook? Big screens. CEO. A lot of people have been coming in the kind of up into the anti-Facebook, if that's the right word, thing this week, um, as it's spread around. Uh, okay, they're looking at WebXR and a few other things here. It won't let me scroll any further because it's a short list, but it's kind of a list of lists, as it were, articles that you can look at. Right, moving on to the next one. We're back on upload. Oh, here we are, upload VR. Um, if you wonder what I'm doing here, I'm copying these addresses so that I can grab them from my clipboard. Right, the site you want here is uploadvr.com and then HP-VR-announcement. So if you'll be okay with that one. Coming back to this one, right, the address we need for that one is www.prnewswire. So that's PRNEWSWIRE.com. That differs from the Australian one we looked at a minute ago. Okay, so we'll put that one away. Now I've got my behaviour all sorted out again. And oh yeah, this is the one we didn't have, isn't it? So, copy address. There we are. And the address here. This is input, I said earlier. It's actually www.inputmag.com. So it's INPUTMAG.com. And this was the first of the articles looking nicely illustrated articles too, by the way, looking at the Burning Man event. Right. Okay, back on track, or as on track as we can get round here. Talking of haptics, this haptic suit lets you hear music through your skin. Um, this is a companion, I suppose, to a headset. So it's not, as far as I know, linked in any way to the fast book. So it is worthy of a mention, because anything that's linked to who is not worthy of a mention anymore. Um, it's interesting. It's kind of the bone conduction thing, really. You may know that you can get a lot of headphones these days that they don't so much go in your ear as rest on the bone around the ear, and so the vibrations actually vibrate, straight into the bones. So if you have hearing difficulties, it bypasses the need for the kind of what's it? It's like a speaker thing, they can't remember the name of the film kind of thing that vibrates to give you hearing. Um, anyway, that gets bypassed with the headsets that have bone conduction. Um, so this technology is providing a way for people to experience music not through their ears but through their skin. Um, right, it comes from Not Impossible Labs, described as a team of out-of-the-box thinkers who use technology to solve seemingly impossible problems in the world today. Maybe we should get in touch with them about this place called the White House. Um, anyway, that needs fixing. An impossible job of fixing. Never mind. I don't want to rabbit hole and upset people. Right, anyway, making the haptic suit, a lot of background on this. So, very technical thing, of course, but, an idea of what's coming in the future. As you can see at the top there, the site you want is organics.org, auganix.org, and look up the title, The Haptic Suit That Lets You Hear Music Through Your Skin. Right, put that one away and move on. Oh, this is my favorite one to pronounce. It's Room. Yep, VR Room
All
or
right.
VR Room. They've got really. You can probably just see their logo at the top of the screen there. They've really gone overkill, trying to put every bit of meaning they can into that. They've got VR in one color and room in another, but the two rows of room are kind of a headset type icon, and they've got different sizes between them. I don't. It's just what I call an overly cluttered logo. They could probably just had it all one size and done the two rows as glasses, or done one of those tricks, not the whole lot of them in one.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's about Sensorium, who are aiming to become the next wave VR. There's an embedded video there, which I don't think I put anywhere else. Um, yeah, we can turn the volume off anyway, and you can see it rolling about. Oh, how do I? Right, I think. Right, I thought there was a way of pinning that to the screen, but never mind, maybe not. Okay, this tech forward company founded by Mikhail, no, it's not Gorbachev, Plok. Yep. Anyway, it's called Sensorium Corporation, and they're developing Sensorium Galaxy, which you can see fitting away at the top here. Virtuality media platform that provides users with access to all digital alternative universe. Immersion in this multi-user environment allows users to craft their own virtual personas and enjoy rich social experiences through social VR technology. Now, where have I heard that before? I suppose a limit to what you can, say to people when you're summarising these things. In some ways, it looks very like where we are at the moment with Sansar.
Yeah.
The some of the introductory bits there. As you can see, the avatars appear to have most of their body, and from yes, it's working in a 3D headset there, of course. Doesn't actually say whether you can make your own avatars and do all that. This looks rather pretty, really. Um, gonna scroll away from that. Um, a lot of background information on the virtual reality market and everything else, projected size of it in the future and stuff. So linking that to it. It doesn't actually say to me, as far as I can tell, without reading every small print, or can't remember what I read when I first read it, whether it actually works in outside a VR headset too. Let's just, I'm going to click on the link to Sensorium Galaxy itself. You'll have to do this yourself if you do it because it's not on the thing. There's the splash page. Actually, the splash page looks a bit more cartoony than the actual thing, but who knows? Yeah, the whole, well, I use newfangled web pages where you just scroll down and you get more and more animated graphics as you go. Um, Arrival estimated February 2021. So this looks good. There's the video we were watching. Early registration now open. And yep, it still doesn't quite say whether you need a headset or not. So I'm not going to actually dwell on that, but you can follow the links, of course, at twitter.com/malphones to find it. You'll find the link to that one I've just closed, and then you'll find the article, the link to here at vroom, vroom, vroom. I will endeavour to get the full address for you here. Um, www.vrroom.buzz, B-U-Z-Z. So that's VR room or one word dot buzz. Is unusual suffix on that
Do
one, of
we need to
course.
find a sound effect for when you look at Vroom?
It would be nice instead.
Yeah,
I could
yeah,
just press a button and say, "Yep, now we go to vroom."
yeah. That's what I was
Like a
thinking.
little, like a motorcycle. Do
Mm-hmm.
you remember about Meatloaf's "Bat Out of Hell"?
Yes. Yep.
That one of the verses of that, starts up with a motorbike.
Yeah. Well, and I
It was very almost camp actually, but oh
the
god.
band The Art of Noise had some great motorcycle and car sounds.
Ah, oh, I didn't know that. Mind you, I don't really know much about them.
Going way back.
I've heard of them, of course, but I can't picture their music offhand. Uh, okay, where am I? Oh, I'm somewhere else now. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, neural holography can boost real-time AR and VR. Yeah, this is. Don't you wish your avatar was simply a hologram?
Mm-hmm.
um, Now, there's one saving grace to avatars in most virtual worlds, and that is they have physics attached, a sort of physics attached to them. So when you bump into them, you don't sort of walk through them. Some builds are less careful. Somebody will put a tree down and they'll make it phantom so you can walk through it comfortably, but it just doesn't feel right. You want to bump into it. The problem the problem is that holograms don't seem to have a way, I gather, of having collision scripts on them. So if you imagine your avatar is a hologram and like a ghostly presence of yourself, you'd actually also be slipping through other people instead of moving around them or colliding with them. You'd actually sort of be gliding through them. That would be a very. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing to have a world like that. It could be quite a fun experience, but as a de facto norm, I don't really think so. Anyway, that's obviously a long way into the future. So this is technology that is being investigated at the moment, basically, and uh, sorry, find the link for you again. Right, the ET at the top there is not extraterrestrial, by the way. It's Extreme Tech. You want www.extremetech.com. That's extremetech.com, and you can read more um, about this. I I um, I was looking for avatars in this. So
And
I
you see
didn't quite
Ludwig's
figure out what they.
castle, right?
Yeah, I'm not quite. I wasn't quite sure what it is they're doing there, trying to demonstrate there. I think it's the holography of a space rather than anything else. But
Okay.
this that looks grotty in terms of reproduction, and this looks better. But it's a still image. It's nothing to do with holograms. So go figure. Anyway, lots of technical stuff there. You know, I'm sure there's a few geeks around who would love, have orgasms looking at that diagram. And yeah, so on and so forth. Really, gosh, there's a lot of it. Okay, so as I say, that's at Extreme Tech and .com, and you can find it on my Twitter feed. Right, moving. Oh, here's one that needs reloading by the look of it. Reload. Oh dear. It's too much to ask that these machines keep all the windows open. Oh, well, this is actually an oddity. It's VR Scout, right?
Hmm.
So you want to go to let's find you the actual address to go for if you want this. It is VR Scout, VRSCOUT.com in their news section. And well, it is related to VR, but it's RL VR kind of thing. But I chose to stick it up simply because it's symbolic of the uptake of these things. It's a VR film called Baba Yaga. Um, it's all female cast, but more to the point, it's being made because you know you can't make films the other way anymore, and it's got three huge female names at the top of the thing. So it's not just a VR film; it's a VR film with Jennifer Hudson, Kate Winslet, and Glenn Close. If it's successful, it might just be lost in the backwaters. But with a cast like that, you wouldn't think so. I've got a feeling, it's the sort of thing that will turn this kind of art form mainstream. Simply because of, let's face it, the celebrity value um, of the people. Anyway, it's a short film, and it's coming from a company called Boabab, who have been. It's a dark and mysterious fairy tale adventure centered around the themes of love, fortitude, and magic. And yeah, they've previously. Now I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Um, it definitely. I mean, it's largely animation. So whether they're just acting as voice casts, or whether they are going to model, like in Avatar format, part of their characters, I'm not quite sure. Anyway, but read more about this at vrscout.com. I don't really have time to linger there. Right, now we're back to here's another favourite of ours, Dayton. It looks like all these tabs are going to need reloading. There are just too many tabs for the poor old browser to go with. Right, this is Dayton Limited. They're in the UK here. Their address is let's see, let's find the web page. Dadenblog.blogspot.com. So it's DADENBLOG.blogspot.com. And this is David again writing. I think he's got time on his hands for writing stuff, which is nice because I like what he, he writes basically. Um, it's a virtuality, a future history. In other words, they're looking towards the future and stuff. He's got a graphic that summarizes our thoughts. Guess he's talking on behalf of the company and his mates there too. Um, and looking at the challenges, making access easy and seamless, making desirable applications, um, tackling mobility, tackling integration away from walled gardens and towards standard-based environments, and in the long term, radical interfaces, for example, VR HMD and societal change. VR is not it just impacted by attitudes to it, but could also impact society itself and references COVID and stuff. So anyway, some nice stuff from David Burden is his name, writing there at. Did I give you the address there? I think I did. Yes, I did. Daytonblog.blogspot.com. Moving on. Oh, that didn't need reloading. Oh, I've heard of that place. Newsweek. Okay, again, let me copy the address just to make sure I've got it right for you. www.newsweek.com. So that's a pretty easy one. It's just like the logo at the top there. The metaverse being fueled by COVID-19 pandemic as players embrace virtual worlds. Now it's looking at Fortnite there. Um, as you can see, when I click on it to play it. In case you wonder, I've not got the sound on, for which you should be eternally grateful, actually, if I remember that clip. The concept of metaverse, a sprawling shared online world, is being fueled by the COVID-19 epidemic, a top gaming CEO said. This is quoting Min Liang Tan, who leads the gaming company Razer. They're good company, actually, and left millions of people spending time indoors and appears to have resulted in an influx of new players who will be needed to fill virtual communities of the future. And it basically um, goes on there with more information and more hints about, quotes from people and what's going on, really. Interesting, of course, that so many people read big papers like Newsweek there, and is life still going? Probably. Um, the audience for reading that article where they're reading it in print or online here. So, that article will be getting to people who probably never even heard of virtuality or virtual worlds. It's always good to see articles being coming out in places like that you wouldn't, or the general public will be subjected to them. The reason, obviously, is COVID, which is a sad reason, but nevertheless, good to see it coming out. Okay, moving on. Oh, we don't need to refresh these either. Jessica Outlaw writing why researchers should conduct user testing sessions in virtuality and on using HubSpot and Mozilla for immersive embodied user feedback. Let me see here. Let's get the actual address of the article. Oh, yes, it's what I thought it would be. It's blog, that's blog dot mozvr, mozvr.com. And that really is the site for HubSpot Mozilla, which James uses every week, don't you? For various things. And it's one of those real winners of the COVID period. It's a virtual world, but or virtual space, but it loads onto the web page itself. Very fast and easy to get to for people. Basically,
Yeah,
is real
terribly easy to
killer.
get people into it. Yep.
Yeah. Um, so basically, what Jessica is saying here is that researchers could actually find it very useful to conduct user testing and, well, user surveys almost. So easy to get you in there. And it probably, is certainly an alternative to, sticking up a 20-page questionnaire on the web somewhere and a button saying fill in our survey. Why not just get them to come in and chat to you and do something, um, um, like they're in a room helping you. Okay, anyway, let's put that out of the way. So, did I give you? Oh, yeah, blog
Hmm.
Moz VR, wasn't it? There we go. Now, a great white space. No, maybe not. Oh, Voices of VR. We had to come to this. Um, there were quite a few last week, including a couple of very quick ones, talking about the Fastbook and the Oculus and stuff like that. This one for midweek, August 29th. Well, it's not midweek, that's yesterday's. Number 939, a Valve News Network on Valve and their relationship with Oculus and Half-Life and everything else like that. Half-Life, Alex, and all that is a kind of game, of course, but the fact it's a game as opposed to a virtual world doesn't deter from the fact that they are somewhat reliant on headsets and therefore have an opinion on the company that wishes to dominate headsets. What else can I say, really? Anyway, it's I forget how long it is. We'll soon find out. 1 hour 54. There you are. So quite long Voices of VR podcast there. To get to that, you just want voicesofvr.com. Very easy one to get to. I don't even need to look it up. Though, in fact, I'm in the right place for it now. Oh, isn't that wonderful? Right. Okay. Moving on again. What deaf people. Okay, I think this may need a reload. Yeah, having to do all this stuff live, but you will forgive me. Right. What deaf people? Oh, that, yeah. This is quite interesting. This is something that Philip Rosedale posted actually, and I just followed the link and found this article. Um, when it when all the pop-ups go away. Um, what deaf people could teach others about virtual communication. Um, people working from home and stuff like that. Obviously, deaf people. I mean, you do get on on video and stuff on the web, just as you do on real world television. People using sign languages, and it is actually possible to use sign language and stuff in a virtual environment too. But basically, obviously, deaf people have a somewhat more limited on things than people with all five or six senses, and they have some comments about it. Uh, uh, Things like cultivating cooperation instead of competition. We could do with a lot more of that. Um, Use non-verbal language to increase engagement. Use chat for clarity. Dress for success. And a few other things up there. Pace, don't race. That's a nice phrase. Um, Yeah, paste and erase. I like that one. Yeah, and general kind of roundup stuff there for lessons to be learned from deaf people in using virtuality, basically, and virtual communication. Did I give you a link for that? I'm not sure I did. We'll soon find one
I
for
don't
you
think
before
so.
I lose it. Yeah, no, we didn't. It's hbr.org. That's all there is to it, which is the Harvard Business Review, right? But when you're typing it in, you just do hbr.org. And yep, it's in the section 408, which of course means August. So it's literally August the 3rd. That's quite a while ago. But as I said, I was following this link from somebody else. It's not something that I caught at the time. Okay. I don't think I did anyway. Right, unofficial. Here we go. Reload time. Okay, unofficial VR Burning Man event will feature live music, art, and workshops. Right, so this is at vrscout.com. Don't need to give you that. VRScout, VRSCOUT.com. And this is about an unofficial Burning Man event with live music, art, and workshops. There's a lot of official ones and unofficial ones all about. Um, this one seems to be one of the ones that's happening in Somnium Space. Very colourful looking. I've seen these pictures on another post actually. So um, you can use a desktop computer or a VR headset for Somnium Space, and it's a massive virtual space based on the original Black Rock City, which is a temporary settlement constructed every year as the real life Burning Man when it happens. And what to expect, 30 galleries, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna stay with this. Oh, you can get it free with Steam VR too. Basically, everything starts tomorrow, August the 31st, and continues to September 7th. It says exclusively on Somnium Space. That's a load of rubbish because, as I said, it's on 16 different platforms. If you want this post, go to vrscout.com. Um, this is the one I want now. This is a chap who's always sort of written about, always writing about new metaverse places and things. He's like Robert Scoble, actually, in a sense that he said he had gone away, he was going away and not posting until the autumn, but that lasted 2 days before they came back. But this is Ryan Schultz, so the address will be. In fact, I do need to get this. I may. Oh no, no, of course it will be on my feed, but never mind. Let's get the address anyway. Um, RyanSchultz.com. So it's RyanSchultz.com. And this is really exactly what I wanted, or rather, you lot will want for the Burning Man. The 2020 Burning Man Festival takes place from August 31st, tomorrow, up till September 6th, in this case, on 10 different social VR platforms and virtual worlds. Now, I think I told you 16 earlier. I may have got that wrong. Um, but anyway, it goes down the list. There's various embedded videos that you can play. It is a long article. He starts with Burn 2 in Second Life. He goes to the Infinite Player, which is here and where we are at the moment in Sansar. He goes on to BRC VR, which is in Alt Space VR. That's one of the legless places. Yeah, go to the Burning Man and get legless, mate.
Yeah.
Right, Sparkleverse. Sparkleverse is in a platform called Sparkle. It's an open source fork of an experimental social context project. And you looks like you tickets are by donations via Eventbrite. So if you get to this blog and if you want to see that one, you obviously have to go to Eventbrite to get an invite. Mystic Verse, that's another one. All these are fairly recent worlds, by the way. Recent platforms. Some better known than others. Mystic Verse can be on the desktop or in a headset on any operating system. There is an RSVP for that one, but it just seems to be to let you know when the gates are actually open. Um, Multiverse. Wish everything was a multiverse, really, don't we? The largest virtual arts and music event in history. That's kind of the promotion for the multiverse, not for this particular Burning Man thing. Um, Multiverse, the website, not to be confused. No, so to be confused with Burning Man Multiverse, taking place on a mobile and VR app called IIRR, which stands for Interactive Immersive Realities. So that looks like you need to go to the App Store or Google Play to download IIR and um,
Sounds like a pirate.
yeah,
IIR.
build a burn. Yeah, build. Yeah, yeah, I know. You've got to combine that with the room.
Right, right.
Arr,
Get,
it's a room. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have fun
goodness.
with that one day, aren't
Right,
I?
right.
Right, but Build a Burn. This is on a platform called Topia. Topia is a webcam app which will be hosting something called Build a Burn. Build a Burn is an interactive digital space that has already hosted events, including fantastical remote burns, all by empowering the community to celebrate their creativity. Using just a browser and a webcam on any device, participants will be able to wander an art-filled player with friends old and new, prepared to bend the reality of time and space, authentically connect with others in facilitated workshops, stand too close to some of your favorite DJs, and more. I'm quite keen to try that one. I've never really heard of
Yeah,
Topia, but I
yeah.
quite like the idea that you can use a webcam, presumably rather than an avatar, and somehow move around with various people. I have a number of other little apps on my desktop that do that kind of thing. I've got far too many of them actually because I keep trying them out and I've realised I can't see any of my friends on any of them.
Right, right.
Yeah, because not everybody's like me and joins or downloads everything that happens.
Hmm.
Anyway, that's quite interesting. Topia. So again, you'll find all the links to that on the ryanschultz.com link that I gave you a minute ago and it on my feed. Here we are. Metaburn, the bridge experience. Um, this is created by the team behind Love Burn. Interactive, fully immersive 3D web-based virtuality, accessible anywhere on the web, basically. Um, Adjoining extended reality technology with 10 principles. Not a lot of information about it. Um, Check out their website because it may require registration. It doesn't actually surprise me that some of the ones that are on web-based worlds require registration because they may start. They don't suffer the same kind of lag in a way, or they shouldn't. Some of the actual clients do. But the last thing you want to do is launch something on the web and have a million people turn up at once and then realize, didn't we put any sharding code into this?
Mm-hmm.
I've certainly been to quite a few things recently, a lot of Zoom meetings and things where they send you to Eventbrite or somewhere like that or meetup.com to actually register, just so they have an idea. Don't charge you anything. It's just so they have an idea how many to expect and adjust the setup accordingly. If it's just a couple of dozen people on Zoom, nobody's too bothered. But if if it's going to be 500 people on a Zoom call, they may abandon their plans to have a free for all chat. That kind of thing. Anyway, moving on. There's still more to come here. The Burn Night live from home. Um, After spending Burn Week exploring the marvels of the metaverse, join us on September the 5th for Burn Night live from home. And home. Hang on, is this home a world or is this home? You may choose to upload your burn to a 24-hour stream. This sounds like a collective streaming portal of some sort that will be party on at the end of the week. Anyway, as I said, that post actually has a fairly good roundup. I'm quite sure there's more. As soon as this show is actually finished, it hasn't started yet, but I think I'll go along to bookmark Infinite Player here in Sansar. That's a bit lazy me. Just think, well, before I log out, make it easy to log in later.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just have a quick look at that. This is the video for it. Let's watch it a bit bigger. Right, so now I'm at Vimeo. I can actually press follow and favorite it. Cause I hadn't done that. Right. Okay, I'm looking down below the film you're watching. There's no indication at Vimeo of exactly where you would go for this. It does seem to mix avatars with yeah. I guess in Samsung you just look up the Infinite Player. The techniques here under play seem to be a bit like they used at Glastonbury, where they've got September 5th. Okay, so that's here in Sansar. And okay, I'm gonna leave that one open. I need to send it somewhere later. Okay, so as I say, Ryan Schultz blog for all that lot. Right, moving on. We're going to. Oh no, here we are. Right, Spaces is one more tile in Apple's incomprehensibly large AR VR mosaic. Spaces, I'm not going to show you that. It's very education based. The teacher in the schoolroom there with her mathematics or whatever. Um, Spaces was originally a out of home experience. It's one of these people that are building the equivalent of arcades or whatever, where you could go to um, and location based VR. However, earlier this year they pivoted to VR Zoom meetings. Basically mixing VR and Zoom and stuff to because you can't leave your house. And I think we announced last week actually that this is an analysis, so you can read it there. Basically, what's actually happened is that Apple, who with all their patents and rumors and everything else flying around, basically they call VR Spaces a VR startup, and Apple bought it. The Apple themselves haven't been very clear as to why they bought it and what they're going to do with it. As usual, that's up to the rumor mill. But um, Apple's very known for patenting things that may never see the light of day, but it's probably less known when it actually comes to buying up companies. It usually has a fairly good intention of using them for something in Apple. So I would suspect they have some idea of being able to use this for their AR sort of stuff, or maybe VR too. That we never really know with Apple. So you can find out more about this at VentureBeat. Let's move up the thingy. What's it, jigme here? And no, I'm lazy now. I'm simply going to go and get the. Oops. Um, I'm simply going to go copy the address and read it out to you from my desktop. Right, venturebeat.com. That's easy, isn't it? venturebeat.com. And yeah, that's good. Okay. I've just had an idea, but I'm not going to experiment live. I'll leave it to next week. Oh, aren't we wonderful having live ideas?
Yep.
Okay. Putting that one away.
Better than dead ideas.
uh, well, no, I've suddenly figured that I could. There might be a way that as I'm copying and reading out these addresses, the links, I might be able to put them in an encapsulated thing inside the frame on Screen Leap,
Mm.
if you see what I mean.
Yeah, sure.
I it's simply a matter of knowing which is my what I've got here that might do it. No, there's something I can toggle. I know there's something I can toggle. I think it's a search mechanism that I can toggle. I can't see it there at the moment. Um, no, it's not that one. It's not that one. Nah, it's something that's hidden in the other bit. Uh, oh, there you are. Right, it's added to do. Oh, but I can't move it. Come on, can't I move it? Okay, this is centered on my screen and has no intention of letting me move it. That's unfortunate. So I'll yeah, but it's a good idea. I'll think of something. Right. This isn't a good, but this is quite important. I mean, we'd be going on about the Facebook thing and everything else, but this is a fairly rational post from EFF, the Electronic Frontier Foundation. These are basically the guardians of our internet. Um, without whom it will be in a far worse state than it actually is. Um, Trying to find us a link here, but I can't find it, so I'm going to do the usual copy address. And it's funny how I end up at, end up ad libbing here, and that's. Oh no 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 no! Where did it? Oh, there it is. Oh, sorry. Right, EFF.org. That's actually all you need. www.eff.org. And the article says it all, really. If privacy dies in VR, it dies in real life. And naturally, this has been provoked by the Fastbook fuss. Um, but it is in a greater sense, too. If the corporate giants, Sony, Microsoft, HTC, Facebook, they don't mention Apple, but they probably should. Um, you know, um, spot the surveillance. So they're clearly putting it all together and getting a bit worried. It's easy to be swept up in the excitement of new technology, but utopian visions must not veil the emerging ethical and legal concerns in AR and VR. Devices are new, but the tech giants behind them aren't. Any VR AR headset used today is likely made by a handful of corporate giants, and as such, this budding industry has inherited a lot of issues from their creators. These devices, hardware wise, are not household devices quite yet, but if they succeed, there's a chance they will creep into all of our personal and professional lives, guided by precedents that have already been set today. And first on the agenda for talking about a step backwards, requiring passport login for Oculus. And But obviously, this is the Electronic Frontier Foundation. They're not just um, biting at Zuckerberg. They're looking at the whole thing, um, and antitrust enforcers too. And also they made a note about broken promise because the Zuckerberg actually promised in writing to the guy who invented Oculus. I'm forgetting his name again now.
Lucky
Lucky
Palmer.
Lucky Palmer. Yeah. When he bought Oculus, he promised that it would never be entangled with Facebook, let alone require Facebook login. So a written promise on the bill of sale has been broken. So that's interesting. Technically, Facebook in breach of contract, which they signed when they bought it. But I doubt if that means much to the Zuckerberg himself. Right, Heil Zuck, as
Oh,
they say. Well, quite. No, not for me. Not for me.
not
I'm
from you.
disgusted at the people that are hiding Heil Zuck. Right, Polster. Right, a site called Polster. Um, what has happened here? Hmm. Okay, there's not super much to actually see here. Let me get you the link anyway. Um, copy address. And the address is www.polster.com, POLLSTAR.com. And you'll have to read through the articles if you're not following a direct link. Um, there is an artist-owned music and entertainment streaming service called Title, and they're the latest company in the industry to get into the virtual reality game. With this week's news that Tidal has purchased 7 million US dollars in Senso tokens, the currency issued by VR platform Sensorium Corporation. Now we mentioned Sensorium earlier. In one regard. The investment is seen as a big win for both companies by establishing Sensorium Galaxy as a leader in social VR entertainment and also broadening Tidal's mission to provide unique experiences for fans. And where are we here? This is kind of a PR wire type thing, poster by the look of it. Um, there we go. A picture of Sensorium Galaxy. With the promise that Sensorium Galaxy will provide users with access to virtual music and entertainment concerts, it's a safe bet that once the Sensorium Galaxy launches in February 2021, fans can anticipate virtual concerts from a few of Tidal's co-owner artists. Remember that Tidal's actually owned by the artists themselves. These include Jay-Z, Alicia Keys, Arcade Fire, Beyonce, I know her, Calvin Harris, Coldplayers, Chris Martin, um, J. Cole, Jack White, Kane West, Madonna, Rihanna. So those are the owners of the those are the honest owners of Tidal. So serious ownership there really, and merging with Sensorium Galaxy, is a way to move into um, virtual reality at the same time. So one to look out for, I think, February 2020. Well, that's still 6 months away next year, but it could be that it's sort of they're taking it slowly and easily, sort of when they come up with a product, it's fit for purpose, which is more than I can say for some things that seem to pop up at a month's notice. Oh, I know, we'll do this to solve the COVID lockdown. And yeah, do this, and then you look at whatever they've done, and you say, "What?" Um,
That's a lot of
it's
virtual
actually very
currency.
yeah,
A
it's
lot of
actually
virtual
very
currency. Yeah.
satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting too that I mean, although I'm avoiding the Zuckerberg topics really, reading for those that did actually go into Horizons and what is it, space, some whatever apps Facebook launched this week. Um, the response, and this has nothing to do with the naysayers of Facebook. A lot of these are people checking out the new platform, without much thought of who the owner was. The response to Horizons in particular has been absolutely miserable. Somebody likened it to a cross between a Hanna-Barbera cartoon and a puppet show. which I took some amusement in.
Hmm.
But apparently, it's broken, and it needs, a lot more needs to be done to it, and it it appears to be rushed. Although I've been hearing about it for a long while. They've had long enough to develop it. Um, but yeah, it does sound that many people who went into it to review it have not been finding it very usable at all. So I doubt if that will put Zuckerberg off, but nevertheless, maybe it's something that they may have another agenda at Facebook, and they've therefore rushed out the apps, to go on this, and the system for using your Oculus name and everything else. There may be a reason they're rushing all this forward. To maybe, I don't know, maybe gain some kind of monopoly before there's some restrictions on that monopoly or whatever, because they seem to be rushing blindly forward. Anyway, not my space to comment. He laughs. Right. Finally, um, another roundup. This is the one at Forbes, I believe. I need to reload it by the look of it. Um, Yeah, here we are, Charlie Fink at Forbes. This would be August 28th, so this was Thursday, I guess. Forbes also have a roundup thing called This Week in XR, and they look at a whole load of things. Walmart backs and Microsoft bid Unity's IPO. Apple acquires Spaces. Websites keep refreshing, etc., etc. Come on, stop refreshing on me. And no, I don't want an effort that's not there anyway. Right. Hickory dickory dough, Walmart, Okay, well, I'm. Oh, God, put that. Right, I don't like Forbes today. Uh,
Hmm.
everything is popping up, including videos, adverts, everything. Um, yeah, the Facebook's Horizon invites went to a closed beta, went to select people, and right. But as I say, they aren't. It doesn't seem to have gone down that well. Anyway, a roundup of other stuff you will find there if you can stand sort of a. You can't see them because they're out of frame, but I got two pop-up videos here without sound, and I got advertisements that whenever I close because they're in the way, immediately refresh with another one. I've normally been fair enough. I don't know why it's just happened this week that my Forbes site is suddenly plagued with these things. But anyway, yes. So if you want to get to this one, you want to go to Forbes dot. Can't be that hard to do. Where we are, just Forbes.com, I think. But I better double check it for you. Yeah, www.forbes.com. And then actually backslash sites backslash Charlie Fink, who's actually the author. If you can remember that, that will probably get you there quicker. If in doubt, go to my Twitter feed and get it. Right. Okay. Now, moving on. That's the limit of the ones I've loaded from the Malburn's Twitter feed. Really don't want to go near. I had some others on standby, but that's probably asking a bit much. I'm now moving to twitter.com/metaworld news feed. And yeah, your worlds EU. So your worlds, or one word, .eu, hype events. And it's just worth checking this if you're into the hypergrid and anything on those things. It's worth checking out this every day, really. That's what's left of Sunday, and then stuff coming up tomorrow, Monday, and then Tuesday, etc., for the rest of the week. And obviously, if you click here tomorrow, it'll start on Monday. Just a good site to bookmark. So, as I said, that is your worlds, yourworlds.eu. And if you're really fussy, you can do slash hype events, spelt the way it is up there. Put that one away. Okay. Oops. This is one I retweeted. Oh, this is actually Robert Scoble commented on this one too. This is simply a tweet. He says Burning Man Online starts today. This is getting new people into VR. Friends have already borrowed my extra VR headsets to participate. That never happened before.
No.
Yeah, so yeah, there you go. And he's got a link there, but I think it's one we already had. Okay, the Ryan Schultz blog about the 10 different platforms we've already covered. I originally posted that in the Metaworld newsfeed. Um, and yeah, actually, a lot of these are the same things. BM Metaverse. I think this is another video link to Vimeo. And yeah, there we go. Um, oh, right. Okay, I'm going to move our frame down to catch this. I'm going to actually play this for you. You'll probably see why.
Welcome to Multiverse 2020 and IIR. You are now standing in the real size playa. Let's explore. Our goal is to simulate the playa in full scale with all of the art installations, allowing learners to explore and view the art. We can recreate a virtual version of all the art installations across the playa. And here we have a map that allows you to move to any location within the playa. Now, we have teleported to the Empyrean Temple. Notice that we can simulate photorealistic fire. So we can actually burn the temple and the man statue in a live event that all runners attend. With our technology, burners appear as 3D avatars in a virtual playa, and they can communicate via voice and chat. We can allow camps to broadcast live videos inside this environment. So for example, camps can hold virtual workshops. One important thing to know is that we will simulate the playa during every hour of the day. If you come in at 2 p.m., it'll be daylight, and if you come in at 2 a.m., it'll be night. We can also allow DJs to hold live music events. And just like the real playa, many live events can exist simultaneously in the playa, and the burners can move between them. IAR can simulate a variety of environmental conditions. For example, as you see here, we simulate clusters of dust in the playa.
All right, I think that's where it goes back into repeat. There's actually two videos strapped together as one there. I'm pretty sure that was where it goes to repeat. Yeah, we're back there. Right, okay. That was um, well, it was one of the 10 that we featured in the 10 list. It was the one with the short AR or something she called it. But anyway, so it gives you an idea of what I guess many of these different worlds are actually
Yeah.
doing.
I
Right
I
now, also
R.
Arr,
I
yeah,
I R.
hi, vroom. Oh no, sorry, vroom, yeah. But it looked good, I must admit, and that's just one of the 10. Right now, this is an elevator pitch at YouTube for something called Metaverse Music, and this is also one I'm going to play. I'm going to probably have to yeah, I'm going to have to refocus our little frame again so you can see it. Um, Yes, it is. Right. Huh. Come on. Hurry up. Oh, I've got the sound off.
Metaverse Music Vision, what we have is trying to unify all of this. The project team is called Music Oasis, and the Music Oasis is developing many of the tools, and you'll be seeing a lot of things in the future of things we are doing specifically. We hope to make it a unifying hub for music performances, education, collaboration across the metaverse, of all the virtual worlds in the metaverse. So we're trying to become a hub for music in the metaverse. And by metaverse, again, we're talking about all those virtual worlds that you see on the slide here, with Sansar or Second Life or VR Chat or Altspace, or even some of the newer ones under development. Here's an example of these are all music events that we've been involved with. Some big festivals where there is multiple artists playing over a number of nights, or whether they just be a given dance, or there might be one or two or three different DJs or music producers playing live music events. A lot going on in the metaverse, and we're involved with a lot of those now, and we want to be involved with more of them going forward. And because there's so much, it really is quite a bit out there. One of the problems is finding it. And so what we're doing is developing an integrated music schedule where we're pulling all the events from all the different virtual worlds and putting them into a searchable website that you can go ahead and find what's going on today, what's going on tomorrow associated with virtual music. And if you don't want to go ahead and try to log into the 10 different virtual worlds or however many we hook up, because you just don't want to have the hassle of that, we're going to have an active Twitch stream. So our Twitch stream, we're going to try to cover as many music events as we can, not just our own, but other people playing. Tune into this Twitch stream basically any time of the day, and whatever's going on in the metaverse music will be on that Twitch stream. Also, a lot of special events, a lot of special programs. We'll be airing how-to tutorials, whether it be music or even building in these virtual worlds. Basically, how did we co-build a stage, for example. MTV, but instead of music television, is really metaverse television. It's metaverse music. A lot of tutorials, as I said. We've already put a number of them out there. A lot of technology associated with live streaming. We want to try and make it easy for people, or at least approachable. The blog, our view of what's going on in the metaverse with music in terms of reviews of people, reviews of events, trends we see, a lot of interviews with people that are making the music, and a lot of interviews with people that are building the venues for the music. One of the really exciting things we want to work on is we got Restream, that in the social media world is streaming things from one platform to another. So one person playing, in this case, my friend Big Mike is playing. They would be able to use our restreaming backbone to stream into all the virtual worlds at venues in each one of the virtual worlds. So you play once and reach an audience in more than one virtual world. We will be doing a lot of trying to integrate various platforms to make it more entertaining for people and also easier to use. Well, that's a quick elevator pitch. We've hit the top floor. Come talk to us.
Well, there you go. That was, I think it was My Music Oasis blogspot.com that came up there, but I was trying to grab it and they moved on before I had to. This post is from somebody I've never heard of, Grandad Got Mojo. Yes, indeed he has. Let's have a quick look there to see if there's anything else. There wasn't much. Oh no, that's right. This actual user site. Does
This is the Metaverse Music Elevator Pitch.
does not have quite the same thing. Anyway, it's a short video talking about the Metaverse Music Project being done by Team Music Oasis, tying virtual worlds together through music. And I got this from YouTube postings. I don't have an accompanying website really to get you anything from, except that while we were playing it, yes, very good. Okay, mymusicoasisblogspot.com. See it up there? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to I'm actually going to try going there. Oh God, my imagination's going crazy. Right, come on, speed dial. Ugh, look, I can't get into my. Right, no, we'll have to wait. That let me. I go just put it on a clip. You can figure it out for yourselves. I'm going to find my way there later when I can actually see my browser properly. Okay. So mymusicoasisblogspot.com is what you want from there. What I found most interesting there is it includes older platforms like Second Life, and therefore, obviously, the OpenSim by extension has various music events, but also ones we're very familiar with. Sansar and SciSpace were very dominant in that on that list as well. Good idea. And I actually have a tab open here, which is still open. I've had it open all weekend. This actually is the schedule. Again, the links are in my feed at the Open Sim Festival at the moment. It's not as extensive as I thought, and most of these events seem to be happening, unfortunately for me, in non-European friendly times. They don't seem to, it seems to be an American centric event. Um, but as you see, they've got a list of the various events. Like Rosa Askeef here, for example. I mean, she's playing at Open Sim here, but she plays in Second Life. She also plays in Science Space. She also plays in Sansar and in I think it's Tivoli, or one of the successors to Hybridosi. So she literally is everywhere. This woman, some of which are in European times, I hasten to add, but not the Open Sim Festival. Um, but yeah, let me just quickly. Just in case you let me give you the link quickly. Okay, this is web.opensimfest.org. So web dot opensimfest.org. And I've got backslash schedule there, but you don't really need that because, as you can see, there's various other information on that site as well. So let me let's close that tab. Didn't want to close, did it? Right. Okay, and moving down here, Globit addresses payment issues. Oh yeah, right. Hypergrid. God, it's quite a lot here. Okay, Hypergrid Business had a couple of posts up. Yesterday, I believe this was, and guess what? It's taking its time to load. Yeah, good old white screen. A type of good business. Right. Globit addresses payment issues. There's just been some technical issues. This is just saying that they know about them, they're processing them, and it's all underway, according to Christopher Colosi, the CEO. Uh, Basically, Globit is a bit like a sort of PayPal or whatever you think for virtual worlds. It is predominantly used by lots of different grids in the OpenSim hypergrid community. Although I believe he has Globits in use in a few other places too, though they're now not major ones that I know of. Right, let's put that one away. Also, at Hypergrid Business. Both of these are hypergridbusiness.com, by the way, in case I neglected to mention it. Um, so much running in the background of Maria's posts. Right. Sad news that the virtuality grid is closing at the end of this month. And it's dated August 29th, so I presume they mean end of August, i.e. tomorrow. 2 days. New registrations finished in July, and they're now wrapping up. Cash refunds have been distributed now, and region archive files, OARs, are being sent out as well for those who want them. Um, Hypergrid Business also makes a note of two other grids with virtual in the title, Virtual Reload and Virtual Live, also seem to be down. But as far as they know, that's not related. She just Maria posting there. Right, so we'll put that one away. Um, some Metaworld news. This is a blog dot fireandicegrid or one word .net. So blog dot fireandicegrid .net. They're having an abstract photo contest, and you can win free sim rentals, stuff like that. And they've got all the information about it on that post. The link to this, and tells you how to find the gallery and stuff. The link to this is on the Metaworld News Twitter, of course. Um, okay, 2 days ago, again, this is on the Metaworld News feed. We're back to Burning Man. Oh, the places you'll go in the multiverse. Yeah. This is a site called the Burning Man Journal. It's journal, JOURNAL, dot Burning Man, or one word, .org. And again, they're hyping all the places you can go to. The Infinite Player, of course, here on Sansar, and its cathedral and stuff like that. Um, Infinite Player technically opens tomorrow, so whether I can actually hop over there right now after we finish the show, I'm not sure. But anyway, here in Sandside, look up Infinite Player. Another look at Multiverse there again. Sparkleverse, Mysticverse. Actually, I'm kind of wondering if Ryan Schultz actually copied most of this verbatim, actually. They do seem to be, well, obviously the 10 sites or whatever are actually the same. But there we are. Kirsten Weisenberger, also known as K-Bot, is the author here. She touched down in Black Rock City with a handful of disorientated Canadians. Ha ha. Right, okay, moving on from that. I think there was something else here. Oh, yeah, RyanSchultz.com. When you go there, there's another post from the outside looking in. Might want to read that. It's, I thought, well, come on, look, I loaded it. This is on the Metaverse news section. Um, I think there was something. Yeah, it was more comments on the fast book farce. Um, yeah, so yeah, that probably should have been. Well, I don't know why it's on Metaworld News, not the main feed, but never mind. Um, okay, I know also that I enjoyed this program. It's also James's favourite of the week. It's called the VR Download, and it's at YouTube. And
welcome to the VR Download. I'm Ian Hamilton. Welcome to our
just mute that for a second. The If you want to subscribe or look them up, the account is Upload VR, and this basically happens once a week. Their regular host seems to be away this week.
podcast this week. We've got Jamie here to look at comments. And we've got some very special guests. We're doing another special about Facebook, privacy, and the threat of a monopoly in VR. And we've got a panel of some expert guests here to discuss that with everyone afterward. Let's start with Darshan over here on my left. Can you introduce yourself and tell everyone what you do?
Well, it's not my place to replay that for you. We'll be here
Right,
for
right.
now 2 hours
It's an hour and a
anyway.
half that
But okay,
recording.
as you can see, they have not put the Facebook issue to rest yet. And if you see there, they've got Diane from Mozilla, they got Ken Bai from Voices of VR, and they've got the CEO of Big Screen. None of whom are going to be telling you that they approve of Facebook. By the way, and somebody else from Mozilla. Yeah, so they've got a lineup of interesting people there. So if you want chat, it's a great kind of chat program, even though it's not a great deal to look at. It's probably like we should be really if we had guests. it's all like in world review, which of course we haven't done for quite a while.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you will find that the link to that is in twitter.com/metaworldnews, and if you want to look it up at YouTube, you just go to the account called Upload VR there. You can also subscribe, or if they're live, you can actually join in. Right, I think that was okay. Another one.
Oh.
Um, Metaverse Writers 2020. This is a promo video at YouTube. Just 1 minute of
Whoa.
basically that they are at the Open Sim Festival at the moment, and they've done this little bit of PR to tell you.
Take the head of a camel,
The horns of a deer,
eyes of a rabbit, the ears of a bull,
the neck of the iguana,
the mane of a lion, the body of a chimpanzee,
the scales of a cow,
the belly of a frog, the claws of a tiger,
the claws of a hawk.
the dragon is
Well, obviously you've missed that performance yesterday, but the actual exhibit you saw there is still there. Today, the last day at the Open Sim Festival. I'm not sure, but I imagine they are going to be leaving the exhibits and stuff at that festival open, even though the performance side of the festival kind of will have finished at the end of today. Well, it hasn't even started today yet. I mean tonight.
Right.
But just suffice to say that it won't be there on Monday. If you want to watch that film again, by the way, the YouTube channel you want is somebody called Kaylee West, who makes those films there. But that actually just gave you a good impression of what one of the exhibits at the Open Sim Festival kind of looks like. Um, Now, I've got a couple of other films here which are actually advertised in the Open Sim Festival, but I mean they've been around a bit. Um, oh, here we got Market right. Which world is this? NDN World. Um, Anything that's in this feed must have really deserved to be there. So I'm so good. Clicking on it anyway. Right. Hmm. Oh yeah, this is in real life, Santa Fe Indian Market. Um, but basically, presumably because of COVID and everything else, they actually have a virtual version of it, and it's been done with I don't know whether it's Tivoli. I think it's actually Vercadia, which is one of the new high fidelity offshoots. As you can see, they've got pictures of they've taken in their installation, and don't know where they say click how to. Um, yeah, it's Vercadia, an experienced busway in Vercadia. Open now. There's the tickets. Um, this is exciting, gosh golly. Unfortunately, I don't think any of these videos that really tell us anything more about it. So let me just copy the address there and read that out to you. The address for this article is market, that's MARKET SWAIA dot org, and that's NDM World. Okay, so let me close a few of these tabs. Unfortunately, I don't remember to close them when I stop talking about them. They all tend to build up there behind me. Right, so just keep us to there. Right, this is a post at a tech site called Gizmodo. Again, all this is twitter.com Mental World News, which is getting a bit more populated these days as I go along. This is a gamers site in Australia, basically, but They're talking about an AI tech that wants to make you an avatar that will work in every game. And this is actually, again, it's about Wolf 3D.
Hmm.
Their company in Estonia that was originally doing 3D printing, and now they're changed to making you avatars that fit into games and everywhere. Um, Fairly easy to do. They would do one based on a photo. They actually do actual body scanning too, but I don't know where they would be doing that these days if they are still doing it. But when they make an avatar for you, although it's made from a selfie that you send them, I've made one for example. They've actually they've got they've scanned tens of thousands of people, right, over 6 years using their 3D body scanners. So they're able to use those scans to build this selfie to avatar system, which uses machine learning. So it doesn't just sort of wrap your photo around a sort of anything, any old avatar. They use this history of literally thousands of scans to actually try and build you a convenient avatar that, basically the front of the skin is based on your selfie, but everything else is adapted around that texture and everything else. And I must say, it's short of one real world full body scan I had done once. It is very obviously me. And I use it in Skype, so that I look like I'm an avatar, like I'm broadcasting here. So, well, sorry, not Skype, Zoom, but nice thing to actually have. But of course, what they actually want to do ultimately is take these scanners and make them available to you in a format that will work in every world, every game, so to speak. So, a good thing going there. So, as again, I'm going to do the copy of the address. This is gizmodo.com or gizmodo.com.au is the address you want for that little article. And we mentioned this earlier, but Hamlet Orr at New World Notes has a post about Apple getting deeper into metaverse business with the acquisition of Spaces. I mentioned that earlier. But Hamlet has got a few, it's got like a embedded video and a few other things about spaces there that you might find of interest. What you need for this one is nwn.blogs.com. So nwn.blogs.com. And where are we? Okay. Okay, we better have this one. It's kind of relevant. Um, the other offshoot from the original 3D high fidelity, other than Vicadia, is called Tivoli Cloud VR. And there's a post from Caitlin there this week, she's CEO, on becoming a B Corp transparent web entities, me, war, parties at the nut, and more. It basically is a blog post for the everything. Um, but they basically behind the scenes raising funding and stuff like that. They tell you about what they're doing there, becoming something called a public benefit corporation, um, and whatever. And maybe this was a requirement or something else, but I did actually follow in the Discord channels in both Vicadia and Tivoli recently. It does seem like those two platforms are cooperating. Vicadia is fully open source based on the OpenSync code for the open code from Philip Rosedale's High Fidelity, which the last vestiges of which are going away very shortly. Um, but whereas uh, Tivoli was launched with a much more, no, I won't say a wall garden commercial, more of a sort of commercial operation rather than the obviously open source of Vicadia. But they are actually, they seem to have found an area where they're actually going to be cooperating on various things too. Um, I'm not sure exactly what because I'm not a dev. But if you're in any of their Discord channels and read the gossip, you'll probably have a better idea than me because it doesn't stop. The gossip, that is. The answer, I shouldn't call it gossip. It's interaction between developers. That's what it is.
Right.
In both Discord and Vicadio and Tivoli. Right. Yeah, they've been updating my favourite place in Tivoli, to be honest, is the Squirrel Nut Cafe. It's actually
Mm-hmm.
the default landing world, and I went there to try and film something, and I couldn't get the bloody internet properly. I think it was a faulty day because every other time I've been there, I love it. It would be a good place to have an ad lib interview or something, if we need to do that over there. And yeah, more of the score on that cafe and pictures and stuff, and then more about from Mackie about technical developments and support system. If you want to give them, oh, look at the money they want. I think that's a joke, really. Um, yeah, it's quite a lot here, and all very coloured, a very colourful, cartoony sort of look to some of their things. Oh yeah, Blender. There's also a Tivoli tools for Blender add-on, so you can easily create complex Tivoli scenes using Blender. It's um, don't know kind of how that works. I know for Sciencebase, for example, they got an add-on that plugs in to Unity, and it sounds like Tivoli's thing is literally a plug-in system that plugs in all you would need for Tivoli into Blender, so you can work quickly using the plugin section. That was that, and as I said, blog.tivolicloud.com. So it's blog dot tivolicloud.com, and it just says weekly update. I said I don't know whether it's actually a weekly update, but approximately weekly. Um, and yes, that's all we've got to in the Metaworld news section. So, we've come to the grand end of this. Except I'm just going to ask a sort of question of you folks there. You've probably seen me do this a few times already. If I can find the damn thing. The picture, the Malbones picture post, as it
Mm.
were. These are basically things I've clipped during the week. We showed you that one earlier as a thing. Um, I've also clipped, for example, a picture of the three Buddhas at Burning Man. Um, but while I'm sort of snapping these shots from my desktop as we sort of go along, um, I thought it might be rather interesting to have a sort of very small feature about quotes of what's been going on in VR virtual worlds in the Twitter sphere, and like this one is from Blair McKinter, who he was actually on my panel at the Open Sim Community Convention last year. He's from Mozilla Hubs, and I think he's one of the few people there. Mozilla Hubs, most people still have their jobs account apparently. But he says, I love seeing people angrily tweet when they finally realize Facebook is an evil and disgusting. But when Facebook does something related to something they care about instead of just harming all those other people, how could this be that Facebook is indiscriminately evil? Shocking.
Hmm.
And obviously, if you know Twitter, you do know people do sort of come up with these things at some point. No, that's not a Twitter grab. Where's the other Twitter grab gone? Too many pictures in one place to scroll down at once. Oh yeah, here we are. This one's those of you who know this show or other own World Reverse show probably remember Will Burns, who's used to be on quite a lot. He's still on Twitter, that's for sure. He's Aonix, as in Aonix Eon on Twitter, with the funny letters there. But anyway, he was replying to Scar Ghost, of course, Tony Visconti. And so the only thing I disagree with is your assertion that Facebook has a metaverse. By its very nature, it is the antithesis of one. Everything else is on point. And yeah, Tony has said, well, their purpose is to build a metaverse. The fact that Horizon doesn't look at all like a metaverse is another thing entirely. And examples in in this case, of course, in terms of how uh, Zuckerberg world is being going down, shall we say? Right. Reface up. I don't know where that's come from. Something just popped up by mistake. Okay, I'm going to keep the infinite player there. Right. So I don't think you need my desktop anymore, and swing back now to the desk here. And James, is there not a lot exciting there for you to talk about?
Oh, there was plenty. The one thing that I thought was interesting. At one point, you were talking about objects colliding, and you were talking about, wouldn't it be interesting if avatars
Oh,
could just walk through each other?
yeah,
And
that holograms. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I was just going to say that in the video, in the MMORPG game that I play, because so many people are going around constantly, you actually do walk through each other to get from place to place,
Oh,
which at first is
uh, we,
very disconcerting, but after a while you get used to it. I play the Elder Scrolls Online,
oh, right.
and there
It
are
suddenly occurred to me that here, not here, sorry, in OpenSim or in Second Life, I mean, when you put a tree down and things like that, you can
yeah,
choose whether the object is phantom or not.
right,
I've noticed,
yep,
it never occurred to me that I wonder if it's possible to make an avatar phantom,
yeah,
especially if it was a complete mesh avatar or something where it's one object. Imagine making this avatar phantom. I'd look like the Invisible Man, wouldn't I?
right.
Wearing a hat and shades, a costume, and nothing in the face. So that's one way out of the eyes problem. Anyway,
Yep.
anything else? Anything else that got you there? I mean, it
No,
is obviously
no.
all Facebook at the moment, but
Right, right.
yeah.
Yeah, the that upload
Okay, will
VR
you be popping in here tomorrow for?
for what? I'm sorry.
Sorry, you were about to say something about Upload
Oh,
VR.
just the upload VR program was, it's over an hour long. It's quite good, and
Yeah,
they cover a lot of topics, and not, that Facebook is all bad. A couple of the developers
yeah,
said that they understand, what the decision is
yeah.
about, but it's a lot of information in that, especially with the people who are building applications, and is Facebook going to at some point replace their application with a native application? It's always a concern. So
Yeah.
yeah, so good program if you have
Yeah, I mean,
time.
I don't know, sorry.
What?
Yeah, no, I mean, if I was doing a in-world review or something or a discussion, I probably wouldn't be so flippantly or um, anti-Facebook the way I am on the news here. I shouldn't be really, but I feel quite strongly about it. But obviously, I'd keep that under wraps a bit if I was actually hosting or taking part in a discussion where you need to, look at the pros and cons.
Right.
I'm just convinced that this is an evil empire, building. I mean, a couple of decades from now, the Zuckerberg will look like Darth Vader, and we'll probably invent some Facebook light sword or something. But
Right.
yeah,
Right.
you get the idea. I just simulate him like because in this modern world, it is the Zuckerbergs and it's the Facebook, the Google, the Apples and things that have increasingly have more power than governments. You know, if you look at nationalism on the rise in a country, you might think, oh God, neo-fascism, and yeah, it might come, you know, it might even come in America, but
Oh yeah. Yeah.
that geopolitical landscape is almost drowned out now by the techno-political landscape, which is not. It's corporate power and greed and control.
Hmm.
And you're dealing with um, they maybe they get called to the White House to discuss things and things like that, but they're talking with somebody there that just doesn't understand basic English, let alone the technology. Nobody's holding to them account. Zuckerberg in particular is literally treading on the head of presidents and just carrying on regardless. At the same, the European Union takes action against him. He he pays a fine. It's billions of pounds, but what's that to him? And then carries on as normal. He does not take. He actually doesn't take any kind of censure. Not saying censorship, but censure by any conventional authority seriously. I mean, he owns the world, is his attitude, and he's not really going to, he's not going to take any notice of it. He's too big to be put down, kind of thing. It's like the David and Goliath thing. We need to find a David with a suitable weapon
Yeah.
to hit the Goliath with.
I
And they're
did
showing
like I did like in the Upload VR program, one of the guests actually used the word megacorp, and I feel like
yeah,
megacorp was from um, from Snow Crash, but as a term,
it
the
might be.
megacorps.
It's
Yeah.
also from. Yeah, I've used it quite a lot. I mean, it was in the movies. It was in Terminator 2. I mean, that was Sky Core and something like that, but there was still the references to Megacore. The idea of,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. A corporation that is so big that it is mega.
Bigger than a
Um,
country.
you know, um, yeah, I mean, oh, they're definitely bigger than I mean, Second Life geographically is bigger than the state, isn't it? Probably bigger than Britain. I don't, but geographically,
Yeah. Yeah.
but no, we're talking about political weight here. I mean,
Right.
the GDP of Facebook, if you like, is far greater than America's GDP. It's got, in other words, it's got more money and turnover than, the richest of countries. And in a world where money talks, that's, if money didn't talk and the commerce side of things of society disintegrated, Facebook will go down with it because it's the commerce and the money that keeps Facebook so gigantic. It's got its fingers in everything and it makes money out of everything. But if money was no longer important, um, most active corporations in the world would go down
Yeah.
ultimately if
Yeah.
money wasn't needed anymore. But yeah, I don't know these issues. The more and more I think of these, and the older and older I get, the more complex it seems. And I think, God, I don't have that many years left to go. We're
Right.
in a
Right.
worse
Yep.
state now than when we're in a worse state now than when I was young. Whatever happened? So yeah, it's croak into, croak off into the sunset and
Yeah.
forget
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
it. Oh, croaky. I'm a grumpy old avatar walking off into the sunset.
That's
I
right.
don't care anymore. Zuckerberg can have my service so
To
long as
all
he doesn't
things,
kill
there is a
me.
time. Right.
Exactly. Yes. Oh God, you're gonna get me. To
Speaking of which,
every
2 hours today.
turn,
Yep.
and a diddy turn. And I can't remember the lyrics. I love that song.
Yep.
Right. 2 hours today. Now was I saying get off. Okay. You want to get rid of me, ladies and gentlemen? It's time for us to get off. No second meaning intended. We will return, no doubt, same time, same place next week. In the meantime, it is goodbye from this chap next to me.
And goodbye from this chap next to me. I was trying to switch the camera.
No, don't
Okay.
worry, it's the same remark.
Yeah, right.
Okay, it's actually goodbye for both of us. That's me, Mal Burns, and his name is James Outlow. That's right. And yeah, we'll return next week. So have a good week, everybody. Stay safe. Stay indoors where you can. Be especially wary now that the autumn is upon us. I won't say anything else on that. Um, but yeah, just stay safe, and we'll see you next week. And if you perchance today and tomorrow head to Burning Man or the Open Sim Festival, have fun there as well.
Hmm.
Bye for now.
Oh, come on.